The border separating Mexico and the United States is the most crossed international boundary in the world. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people from Mexico try to cross into the United States illegally. Many people wonder why an estimated 11 million illegal immigrants currently living in US didn't just stand in line and enter lawfully. Why don't these people simply enter legally? What is up, guys? Today we'll be heading towards the south at the US-Mexican border and look behind the Trump's wall to see the true experience Mexican has to go through in order to cross the border. Rodrigo tried crossing the border for 30 times, but today he says that he's got a plan.
Whatever then, que miserable.
Main factors that make the United States such an appealing country include more job opportunities, better healthcare, quality education, and family reunification. Immigrants share a belief of American dream, how anyone, no matter where they were born, can achieve success in the United States. But people from less wealthy areas like Mexico and Central America simply don't have an option of migrating to the US legally, or the process is taking too long. Applying just for green card for Mexican citizens can take up to 20 years, which would take around 1/4 of their life. When US tells them to come in the right way, for immigrants, it usually means don't come at all. So they choose crossing the border illegally. Those who are lucky enough to successfully cross the border illegally, if being caught later on, they're at the risk of facing punishments. The so-called 3- and 10-year bars were established by the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act of 1996 under President Bill Clinton. The purpose of legislation is to reduce the growing number of undocumented immigrants, and it works like this. Any illegal immigrant that's been living in the US for 6 months has to leave the country and is barred from returning for 3 years. But being undocumented only for more than a year, they have to leave the United States for 10 years before being allowed to return to their families. It's a so-called separation of the families, when closest they can get to a hug is touching the fingertips of beloved ones through the wall fence. This map shows how much of the wall has been built on the southern border. Red color highlights the 727 kilometers of a wall built during Trump administration, and blue color 1,000 kilometers of a pre-existing various types of fencing. Crossing the border from one city to another, like from Chihuahua in Mexico to El Paso in Texas, can be very risky. Strong fences with additional presence of border patrol agents force immigrants to cross in desolate areas. But those who walk through areas like deserts can face dangerous animals at high temperatures during daytime and freezing cold during nighttime. Since 1994, about 10,000 people have died in their attempt to cross the border. Many remains were never found. Roma in Texas is where the border wall is missing, and because of that is one of the most popular areas to cross into the United States illegally. People in other states take videos of deer crossing the road, but at the Texas border, it's more likely to see a border crosser. Border patrol agents are catching hundreds of migrants near the border, and some Texas counties even declared border crisis an invasion due to such a large number of migrants. Thousands of illegal migrants get returned back to Mexico, but that doesn't stop them. They try over and over again until they enter the United States for good. Some migrants have tried over 30 times entering the United States. But why Mexicans so badly want to leave their country and never return again? His lifestyle in Mexico really like how it's presented in Rambo 5 The Last Blood. Even though Rambo 5 received negative reviews due to xenophobic attitudes towards Mexico, Mexico is internationally recognized as a country with high criminal activity. Prostitution rings, drug trafficking, and related crimes are commonplace. In fact, Tijuana, Mexico is known as the most dangerous city in the world. Among the huge crowds of immigrants, drug dealers are finding ways to operate businesses. They usually take advantage of immigrants by promising to take them across the border to their final destination if they transport the merchandise, usually weed. But once immigrants deliver the drugs, they're left betrayed with no ride and sent back to Mexico. But who says that drug cartels are not organized underground? 531 meters long drug tunnel has been discovered running from Tijuana in Mexico all the way to San Diego in the United States. Even if 100% completed, the border wall won't stop immigrants from crossing. I believe the only real solution to immigration problem lies where the problem is erupting from. not at the border. Reducing the level of Mexican immigration into United States requires simply higher economic growth in Mexico. Honestly, if a neighbor country can provide me a much better life, I would myself try immigrating to that country. My country, Croatia, doesn't have a high crime or poverty, but since 2013, about 300,000 people has migrated to other European countries in a search for a better life. Some of my college friends are thinking about moving to countries like Germany or Sweden. And I know that 300,000 people might not seem like a huge number, but that's because Croatia has a population of only 4 million. Moving back to southern border, almost 12 million Mexican immigrants reside in the United States, which is 3 times as population of Croatia, or 100,000 buses full of people. Public views on immigration across the US has noticeably changed in the past 30 years. In 1990s, most Americans saw immigrants as a burden on the country. Anti-immigrant sentiments were led by a fear of immigrants taking away jobs and healthcare. But it's interesting how today, by 2022, more Americans view immigrants as an actual benefit to a country. As a European, I don't see immigration crisis at European borders like the one at the US-Mexico border. What can America learn from how their European neighbors handle immigration? Let me know, guys, your thoughts on this down in comments below. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.